Gee, I don't know if you realize this, but before the pandemic, 1 in 10 people in our state was facing food insecurity. And then by the end of 2020, experts estimated that the figure doubled. 20% of people in our state are going hungry. Food banks around Washington are reporting double the number of people lining up for food. But thanks to the efforts of one local group, some of those families are now getting fresh, healthy food that doesn't come in a box. And joining us now is Katherine Kehrli, the founder of Community Loaves. Good morning, Katherine.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us about Community Loaves. Who is part of this group and what are you guys trying to do?
You know, what we're trying to do is to put a little bit of a dent in this food shortage that has fallen on so many households. Our food pantries are definitely struggling, as you just highlighted. And who we are is a collection of passionate home-based bakers, which is not that hard to find in this time of pandemic. A lot of people have turned to their kitchens for comfort during this time, and baking has been a little bit of aromatherapy for the home and restorative. It's how we care. And putting the two together, we've created Community Loaves, which is a way for home-based bakers to channel that interest in baking bread in an organized way that allows us to make some real impact, or hopefully to make some real impact into the food banks.
Walk us through the very beginning in which you came up with this idea. What went into that thought process? What was it that sparked your interest in really wanting to help?
That's a great question. Well, I think that I've always been interested in bread, and for the last 6 years, I've done a deep dive in bread. So I'm a bread baker at heart, not by profession, but by heart. And just prior to the pandemic, I was the organizer of a Northwest bread baking group. Again, a community of artisan bread bakers interested in just exploring and learning the craft. When the pandemic hit, like so many, we were looking for purpose and for connection and a way to stay together. I heard about a program done by professional bakers called Neighbor Loaves, where you can buy, like the Tom's Shoe model, where you can buy a loaf of bread and they give a loaf of bread. It's really wonderful. I love Neighbor Loaves. And then I thought, well, wait a second. Is it possible for us as home-based bakers to similarly create bread, maybe not buy it, but bake it and give it to food banks? So from that light bulb, I just did a little research. The Department of Health allows home-based bakers to donate non-perishable, not items that don't have to be refrigerated, are allowed to be donated to food banks. But food banks want items that are predictable, that are reliable. So by creating a little bit more organization, we've sort of fed multiple birds with one seed.
You know what? I was reading up on this, and I'm just amazed at how you have turned a passion into something that can help a lot of people. How many? This has really grown. This is an effort that has grown. How many people are behind this now, and what communities are you serving?
Oh my gosh! It is amazing. It is clearly an idea that resonates. We just all need some purpose and some connection. We have 740 volunteer bakers, drivers, packagers. We're organized into 38 different geographic hubs. So I have team leaders now that are hub coordinators that help keep people, connected and remind them, hey, this is a donation Sunday coming up, and, how to get their supplies. We are currently really well entrenched in the Puget Sound and have just started our operations in Oregon. So we've expanded to Oregon. We have 2 hubs now there, just getting our feet wet, and we hope to continue to spread this opportunity as far as we can.
And when you say as far as you can, like this, I mean, outside of the Pacific Northwest, as in on a national level as well?
Certainly, if it's possible, if it's scalable, we're still learning. It's been 10 fast months, maybe 11 months. It's February, right? The idea started in March of last year. Our very first donation was in April of 2020, and it started with 19 loaves. So we just keep moving as fast as we can because the energy is there and the need is so great. We're supporting 14 different food banks at this time. And when I say supporting, it means that they're getting bread loaves, but it is just I love the success that we've had, but it's a drop in the bucket to the need. Those 14 food pantries represent as many as 13,000 households in need visiting the food bank each week. So we've got a ways to go if we're going to get a loaf in everybody's hands. But you can't do it without trying. And so here we are.
I love that can-do spirit, and I know that there's also something very therapeutic about baking bread, or so I've heard. How can people get involved, and how can we support you in your efforts?
Well, getting the word out is extremely helpful. We are a nonprofit, and we take donations of 3 kinds. One is we want you to come and bake with us. We support bakers from novice to professional. And if you have an interest and would like to try your hand at it, we will support you all the way through. You can also donate your time and help in other volunteer ways. And you can donate funds to the work that we're doing. And those funds go to help build this infrastructure of, just a website that helps keep things perking along.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Katherine, before you go, Katherine, can you help me? I have a bread problem. Like, I eat too much bread. Do you got any secrets for helping me stay away from the bread? Because if I eat 1 piece, I eat 10. You got any help for that?
Yep. Here's my tip for you. Don't worry about it. Eat really good bread. Enjoy it.
You're the best.
That is an awesome tip. Katherine Kehrli, the founder of Community Loaves. We will post your information on the Gee and Ursula Show Facebook page. We would love to offer additional support, and we have awesome listeners, and so I'm sure that they would like to get involved as well. Thank you so much for your time and for what you do.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for shining a light on the project. I really appreciate it.